us to hear what they have for us today. I had a privilege of watching the debate of the House of Representatives and the Senate in the last election. And believe you me, after watching it, there was a change. And what happened? Somebody that I never knew what he had inside, but when he opened his mind, I made up my mind I was going to vote for him. Yes, even if it was only my vote that was cast for that party, I was satisfied from what I had. So today is going to be a turning point in your life. Make the right decision. As you hear them talk today, as you hear them share their vision today, hold them accountable. Ask them the right question. Hold them by what they have said. Engage them constructively. And here's the format. They will present to us their vision. The moderators will ask them questions. Yes. And I want to implore the candidates to abide by the rules and keep to time as well. And our prayer is that after today, our vision, our thinking will change. Let it not be political parties that will decide who we will vote. But let's look beyond the name of political parties and look at the candidates, the persons, the individuals vying for that position. If you believe that there will be a change in Nigeria, it starts with you. So today, be active. As active citizens, you hold your leaders accountable. And that accountability starts here, from what you hear them say. So I implore each and every one of you to listen attentively, pen down your questions, jot their visions, and then pen down the questions that we ask them, so that at the appropriate time, you have that opportunity to hold them and ask them the right questions. Okay? So welcome once again. I want to thank our partners that help us to put this together. He has mentioned them. I'm not going to mention them again. But going forward now, I want to welcome the moderators and our partners, the active citizen, to come over and take off from here and direct us on how this is going to be.
Please, let's clap for Mrs. Freeman Ugochi. I said this earlier, permit me, SARS, and I'm going to say it again. I felt very much humbled walking into this auditorium and seeing the two of you. It sent a very strong signal. I was trying to whisper with Mama. I don't know whether it's going to sit well with them, but that's one of the things I've learned over time. The last time I had a chat with Dr. Val Ozigo, sorry for mentioning him, he taught me this thing. And I've heard it from different elites, time management. And if we wait for a while, why this program is on, we're going to get very deep into the debate. So whoever of the candidates that now meets us will join. Otherwise, we have to just keep it up, sir. Please. I want to believe that the organizers would accommodate this thing I'm saying. I think it's one good way to actually start. And once again, please, let's clap for Prof. and Mr. Cheka, Jerry, for being very, very punctual. They came in here before many of us, and you know how big men behave. Some of them would have walked away. They are serious. But they sat, and they kept waiting for some of us that came even behind time. Thank you once again, SARS. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Mr. Cheka. The next thing on my agenda, while I allow the moderators, Frank and his team, to get ready for the debate proper, is spoken word performance. I don't know if Angel is ready. While we wait for Angel, he's ready. Beautiful. Okay. Please, without much ado, let's make welcome and have the mic handed over to Angel for his spoken word performance. Can you get the mic across to him, please?
A leader was found carrying heavy burdens and heavy loads on his head. And he was asked, "You are a leader. You shouldn't carry such heavy loads and burdens on your head." And I replied, he said, "Yes, I am a leader. But if I don't carry such heavy loads and burdens on my head, how will I know the heavy weight and burdens that my people carry? How will I know the weight and burdens that my people bear?" A leader was found entering public transport. And he was asked, "You are a leader. You shouldn't enter public transport." And he said, "Yes, I know I am a leader. But how will I know the problems of my people? If I enter, how will I know the problems of my people if I ride on cars with different classes?" The leader was found putting his children in public schools. And he was asked, "You are a leader, Mr. Man. You shouldn't put your children in such smelling and public schools. Children are supposed to school abroad." And he said, "Yes, I am a leader. But if my children school overseas, how will I know if the schools that I lead lack good educational facilities? How will I know if the school where I lead lack good educational system?" That same hour, a leader was found eating in public with the people. And he was saying, "Listen, Mr. Man, you are a monarch. You are a king. You shouldn't eat with the people in public." And he said, "No. If I can't be with my people in public, how will I know the rate of hunger and hardship that my people bear? How will I know the amount of insecurities that my people suffer? We all, every one of you sitting here, we are all victims to insecurities. It has before our mothers. It has before our fathers. It has before our cousins. It has before our sisters." That same leader was found walking in a public road. And he was like, "Hey, Mr. Leader, we should use aircraft to walk." And he said, "No. If I don't walk on public roads, how will I know that the roads that are assigned to be rebuilt is well built? To reduce the rate of accidents that have killed my people, to reduce the rate of accidents that have sent my people to the early grave. So the grave is the richest place. Leaders of tomorrow are in the grave. Presidents to be are in the grave. Governors. The governors are supposed to lead the people are in the grave because of accidents that are smothered them in cold blood. Listen, everyone. I'm not asking my leaders to reduce their personalities to suit the people. But all I'm asking them is to put themselves in the poor man's shoes so they can feel our pain, so they can feel our tears, so they can feel our cry, so they can feel the burdens that we carry, so they can go to our help, can come to our rescue. Yes! We sing freedom songs and still live in prison. We go out to our everyday activities and still be in jail. Yes! 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 Here, all of you, go out to your everyday activities. We still live in jail. Leadership is not standing above the people, but service to the people. Leadership is looking after the welfare of others and not copy warfare among others. Yes! Yes! Leaders! My leaders are promise keepers, not promise contractors. Yes! They are promise keepers. They are not promise contractors. Take us from the era. Their power passes through as inheritance and not service. We want change and not just change in system, but a true leader pleads for his people. A leader is a man of vision and not vanity. A leader is a man of strategy and not vengeance. Yes. For the Nigerian play, it says, I played to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest. Every leader must swear to be faithful, must swear to be loyal, must swear to be honest to the people, to guide Nigeria with all his strength. A good leader must protect my people to his last breath. A true leader must protect the poor masses until his last blood. To defend our unity, Nigeria is a blessed land, and Anambra, we are the light of the nation. Yes, we are the light that lighten the light of others. Yes! Anambra will forever be the light. For the light shall shine upon darkness, and darkness can never comprehend it. Yes! Insecurity is our darkness. Poverty is the darkness. Massacre of people are our darkness. Hunger is our darkness, and it will be forever destroyed. And upon our honor and glory, serve us, God. Serve my people. God bless Nigeria. God bless Anambra. There shall be no more insecurity, because it has sent my people to their early graves. There shall be no marbles. Hunger shall not strike. Deliverance and the intestines of my people. Never. For we are the blessed. God bless the governor of Anambra. Governors, God bless them. Peace and love to my people. There shall be good roads. There shall be good roads. There shall not be hunger. The grave shall not suck our blood anymore. And move on ever and ever. There shall be peace and unity.
Thank you. Okay, please, my technical guys, I would want these microphones set. If we can have them set now, because the next on my agenda is the debate proper. While that presentation was on, another very distinguished guest, and I would like to recognize her officially. As a matter of fact, female candidate contesting for this gubernatorial candidate, as much as my information is correct. She is the just candidate for this election coming up in Anambra State on November 8th. She's not a person but Mrs. Chioma Melodike. Please, with a innovation. Thank you for honoring this invitation, ma. Thank you for gracing this invitation too. Are they ready? All right. While the conversation will be on with the moderators led by Mr. Franklin, if you have a question, do well to ask for a biro, a paper, write it down. You can send across to me or any of the ushers around. Listen attentively to hear what the candidates have to offer. If we choose to vote them into power, as much as if you are privileged to have the microphone to ask your question by yourself, do well to sound civil. Do well to ask your question with a very strong sense of decorum and respect. Let's show that we are ready to take the leadership of our political space to another height. With joy in my heart, I want to make welcome the lead anchor for this interaction with the gubernatorial candidates, Mr. Franklin. While he comes up, please come up, sir. I think you should have a seat here. Okay. Please, Mr. Frank, please have a seat. All right. The microphones, are they ready? Can we fix them on this? If not, then let's take down the whole of the stands so we can have a very strong visibility for the candidates. There's a mic on that too soon. But no worry, just get down first. There's the way I'm feeling, and I'm feeling like very many persons among us is also feeling like that. You know, this is the heat of the moment where we now have to. I observed that the fact checkers are beginning to turn on their devices. The truth of the matter is, as simplified as it may look, Anambra State is actually ripe for advancement into better glory. I'm not saying that we've been in the dark. That's up for you to define it in your own terms. But I think we are ripe for a better surge into a more glorified experience. Okay, while we do the setup, I'm waiting for us to be ready before I call up the candidates, please. Please, permit me, I'm going to do this invitation to the stage in no particular order. If you're happy to be part of this conversation in this auditorium, please, with a clapping ovation, help me to welcome to this stage. I need a strong lady or guy to help me walk up my guests to the stage if need be. That's that thing I said. Fact checkers are here. So they're trying to correct me that it's not just one female candidate for the gubernatorial election race. So it's 2 female candidates. Thank you for that correction. That's why I said if my information is correct. The first on my list to call up to this stage for the debate proper is none other but the AAC candidate, Choma Grace Ifemelodike. Please. Clapping ovation. Ma, please to the stage. Let me have the honor of walking you up. Please, we can do better with that clap, please. All right. Okay. Please help me with this seat. Let's have it go down a little bit. Can we? Let it go down a little bit. Please, can I have somebody help me get this seat a little bit down? Good. You have experience. So. Thank you. Good. Please just adjust the others too. Thank you. Thank you. And next on my list, are we good for this debate? Are we? Some of us are sounding like, hey, don't throw out the way for this opportunity. Get a good question where I get to ask this person.
It's coming up. It's because of YouTube. Go.
Please, still with the clap innovation, let's also work. Welcome to the stage, Mr. Okeke Chika Jerry. Please, can we make that clap louder? Can we make it louder? Thank you, sir. And also on my list at the moment is none other than a man with tripartite arm, Colonel Professor, Architect Geoffrey Okudili Onyejebu. He is the NNPP gubernatorial candidate. Please, can we make that clap louder? That shows his, or he was, sir, Prof. 18 years ago. Beautiful, so I'm still correct. A retired military personnel 18 years ago. Wow, please, let's celebrate him once again. And then at this point, I would want to welcome the lead anchor for this, or moderator for this debate, Mr. Franklin. And when he comes up, he will be introducing his team. Please, let's clap for our lead moderator, Mr. Franklin.
Good evening, everyone, and we thank you for taking out this very time to join us on this very debate this very evening, because it's not easy for us to call you and you decided to respond to this very call for us to deepen our civic engagement, and we're quite happy for that. So my name is Franklin Ebuka. I'm a media practitioner, and I'll be joined on this very debate for the moderation by 2 beautiful women. So I'd like to call them to the stage too, so that they can, sit here. So let me call on Sharon and then Chiku from Active Citizens Media, and then Ifomoji to also come on stage and join us here.
Good afternoon.
So on this, I must say good evening to every one of you once more. Ladies and gentlemen, our invited guests, distinguished listeners and viewers across Anambra State and beyond. I'm saying listeners and viewers because this very program is being streamed live on Active Voice Media. So if you want to watch live, or if you want to tell somebody to watch, you can give them the notification where they can watch this. So you are welcome to Voices Beyond the Front Lines, the Anambra Governorship debate. This evening, we move beyond the campaign slogans and political rallies to hear directly from those who seek to lead. And this platform offers the people, the real voices beyond the front lines, a chance to listen, question, and decide who understands the hopes, challenges, and aspirations of the Anambra. So our goal is very simple, and that goal is to provide an open, fair, and issue-based conversation that focuses on the things that truly matter. And you might want to ask, what are those things that truly matter? And things like security, education, economy, infrastructure, health, and the future of our beloved state. So each candidate will have the opportunity to present their vision, defend their record, and respond to critical questions on how they plan to build a better, safer, and more prosperous Anambra State. So I'm going to ask you to sit back, listen carefully, and let the voices beyond the front lines, the voices of truth, accountability, and leadership be heard. So on this very note, we are going to start this very debate this very evening. Like I said once more, my name is Franklin Ebuka. I'm one of the moderators, and alongside two persons I've introduced, we are going to moderate this on certain thematic areas.
All right. Introduction.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Ifoma Oji, and I work with Active Citizens. And tonight we already know what it is. It is the night where we get to have the debate for the governorship candidate for Anambra State. It is the night where we more like define our political atmosphere moving forward. So this gentleman and lady before us, I would love to introduce them. So we have the governor candidate representing Boot Party, and the person of Mr. Okeke Chika Jerry. Can we have a round of applause, please? And we equally have representing NNPP, we have Geoffrey Okudili Oyejewu. Please, a round of applause for him. Then representing AAC, we have Choma Grace Ifemelodike. A round of applause for her, please.
All right, my name is Sharon Enemchuku. I'm working with Active Citizens, and I'm just going to be giving us a breakdown of what we're doing this evening. I welcome you once again to Voices Beyond the Frontline, where we have a one-on-one discussion with our gubernatorial candidates. Now, we're starting with the debate proper. So what we're going to do is, for every of these candidates, they have 2 minutes to answer each question. Now, when you want to introduce yourself, let's call it the opening statement, you have 2 minutes to do that. Now, we have a timekeeper who is working closely with the DJ. So when the time is 1 minute 50 seconds, please, the DJ, help us with a sound so that we inform them that they should round up on their conversation or answering that question. Now, the audience in the hall, you are not left out. If you have any question, please write that down. So just signal, and a pen and paper will be handed over to you so that we can get and screen your questions before we ask them. Now, during the course of the debates, the gubernatorial candidates and also the lady, the gubernatorial candidate for AAC, if there is anything that you want to refute, a rebuttal per se, just signify. You have 1 minute to do that. Now also, for any question that you are going to ask to the gubernatorial candidates here, they have just 1 minute to respond to that question. I don't know if I've made myself clear. Now, going forward, we're going to try to keep it to time. We have just 2 hours to do that. and for the general conduct for this particular debate, please, I want us to ensure that when they're answering their questions, I know that we want to support them by cheering them on, but please do not cheer them on so that they can be focused in order to answer their questions. You can also not jeer them. Let me just make it simple. Don't boo them if they answer what you don't like. And going forward, there will be no name calling. Also for the candidates as well, there will be no interjections. Just make sure you answer your question, refute in a civil manner. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Sharon. Just for me to run through this before we begin with the first question. We have this debate divided into segments, or what we call thematic areas, such as economy and the development. We have education, we have agriculture and environment, social welfare and governance, health and security. So these are the thematic areas. And we are going to begin our question from the area of security, because we know that everything is built on security. Whatever we are going to do in this very state, if there's no security, of course, it's going to be in vain. So I'm going to do the honors by asking the first question on security, and we are going to begin with the candidate of NMPP, Professor Jeffrey. Now, on security, we know that Anambra has had secret challenges in these past 3 days, and there have been efforts to tackle this very security. If we have gotten results, it's like a mixed feeling. Some persons will tell you we are making progress, some will tell you we're not making progress. So for you as a governorship candidate who is seeking the vote of Anambra, if we eventually give you this very vote, tell us how you understand the problem of security in Anambra State and how you intend to tackle it.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin. I have been introduced as a retired colonel from the Nigerian Army. Indeed, I served for 32 years, was a brigade commander in Mokala Ibadan, was the GOC of 2 divisions in Odogwu, and the military attaché of this country in Washington, D.C. Now, security is the main cuckoo of what this state needs. Without security, we can't even be here. I have looked at the state. I've been talking about security for more than 15 years now. I am the one who introduced that cliché, kinetic and non-kinetic approaches to security problems. But I have, since 2021, moved on to what I now said, put on the ground. I believe that the present governor, Professor Chukwuma hasn't gotten his act together, because what he's doing in security is like what the kind of dance my people have in our locality, and that is called Egwu Osonuche. In Egwu Osonuche, is a freestyle dance. You dance as you please. There's no synchronism. You could have one throwing his right hand up while the other is doing his left leg back. Just anyhowly. And then I carefully made excuses for him, because the lawyers will always say, "Nemo that will not happen." You can't give what you do not have. He does not have any training. He does not have any background. He does not have any experience when it comes to security issues.
Okay, your time is getting close.
Right now, we're having the Udogachi, we're having the Agune Chamber, we're having the Ocha Brigade. All these motley organizations have not addressed the security issues. And indeed, what is worrisome is that...
Time up. Okay, so I'm going to do something now, because you were supposed to start with it, but because I decided to go with the first question, so let's do it now. You will take 2 minutes, Prof, to tell us who you are and why you are in this very race.
Thank you once again. I am Colonel Architect Professor Geoffrey Onyejebu. I am from Ichi in Epusigo local government area of the state. Colonel in the name, I have told you before, is that I served in the army for 32 years. The architect in the name is that I am a proud product of University of Nigeria, Enugu campus. Indeed, I have higher degrees in the 3 premier universities in Nigeria, Ahmad Bello University and University of Ibadan. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, so let's go to the candidate of both party. Tell us who you are and why you are in this very race. 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. My name is Okeke Chikajeri. I'm from Ezimi Vite in Agwata local government area of Anambra State. Primary and secondary education in Ezimi Vite. And I'm a graduate of Nnamdi Azikiwe University here in Oka. I'm based in Onitsha, where I run my private school, Chikajeri College, and also my publishing company, Edumeo Publications Limited. As you can see, I was born here in Anambra. I schooled in Anambra, and I'm doing business here in Anambra. So I know Anambra State more than any other candidate. So I think I am fit for this job, and I can address all our issues, because nobody is going to tell me what we need. I already know them, and I know how to address them. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's go to the candidate of the AAC, former chairman race. Tell us who you are and why you are in this very race.
Thank you. Afambo Choma Gracie Melodiki, not Ifoma. There's no Ifoma in my name. It's Chioma Grace Ife Melodiki. From Eziowele, Idemili North Local Government area of Anambra State. I'm a Nollywood actress and a filmmaker. I'm a humanitarian and also a very active citizen of this great country. I'm the gubernatorial candidate of the African Action Congress, and I'm also a part of the Take It Back movement. I studied political science in Chukwu Emeka Odumego Ojukwu University, Igbariam campus. I was born and bred in Jos Plateau State. I'm the 4th out of 5 siblings. Thank you. Okay, sorry. The last part is, I am here to represent the oppressed people of Anambra State, to be their voice, to stand for them, to demand justice, to make sure that equity and fairness is experienced in this very beloved state of ours, to return sanity, to make sure there is fair sharing of our collective resources, and not a situation where some people have so much and others have very little. I'm here to stand for the common people. I'm here to stand for the masses of Anambra State. I am here to deliver good quality leadership to the Anambra. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chioma Ifemeludike. Now, so the first question on security I'm going to ask. What's your assessment of the Agune Chamber local security outfit? What reforms or alternatives would you propose, ma'am?
First of all, when I become governor, I'm going to scrap the Agune Chamber outfit because I believe they have failed. They have failed in every standard of what security apparatus should stand for. Why do I believe they have failed? They have failed because they have abused our people. They have abused the fundamental rights to be treated with dignity. These local governments, there will be a human right to ensure that vigilante chamber who what human rights abuses to? Nobody. It is not just human rights abuses. They outrightly take money from our people. They extort the Anambra state. The very people that should be protecting their lives are on the street extorting, assaulting old people in their communities. And also, most importantly, I will make sure that these agencies are adequate and effective. How am I going to do that? That they get the necessary gadgets, security gadgets that would allow them.
10 seconds more.
They don't necessarily have to carry AK-45s. They don't even need guns. But the training they will get to enable them to get into civil situations and solve it amicably, restoring orderliness and trust amongst our people. Thank you.
All right. All right, thank you for that. All right, thank you for that. So the next question, I'm directing it to the governor candidate for Boot Party. Now, according to SBM Intelligence and EIE Nigeria, from April to June 2025, Anambra was ranked among Nigerians' least safe states. Now, whether or not you agree with that rating, how do you assess its impact on investments, public confidence, and social life, and what new initiatives would you introduce to restore safety and investor confidence?
Thank you very much. One of the problems of the Nigerian government of today is that the youth are neglected and the youth are not involved in governance. The youth are not taken care of. The youth are hungry. The youth have no job. And if you don't engage the youth, there's a saying that idle brain is devil's workshop. All these youths are now causing the insecurity in Nigeria and also in Anambra State. So, if you want Anambra to be safe, we have to employ the youth. We have to empower the youth. We have to give a loan to some youths who have some businesses that are doing. We have to involve the youth in governance. Youth should be allowed to win elections. Youth should not be rigged out. Political parties in Nigeria should not increase their tickets so that youth will not afford to vie for important positions in Nigeria. So if you don't do all this, we are wasting our money on security. Because I don't know how many youths we kill today, security will be over. The more you are killing, the more younger ones are coming up. So let us take care of our youth, and this security will be a thing of the past in Anambra State. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So for us to manage our time very well, if you have other questions on insecurity, you can note it down. At the right time, we take that very question. So let's go to another thematic area so that we'll be able to leave here on time. The question is also coming to you, the NNPP candidate, Professor Chef. Anambra State is known for its vibrant commercial activities and the entrepreneurship. Anambra economy is driven by a diverse mix of variables like agriculture, trade, manufacturing. We also have some natural resources that if we tap very well, of course, that can help us to grow our economy. And we have seen some contributions from banking, real estate, what have you not, even education, they all contribute to our economy. And look at our GDP being ranked among the first 6 states in Nigeria. Now, where we are going to is, what would you do? What smart plan do you have to grow the economy of Anambra State?
Well, I think this is a multi-barrel question, but I'll start first with the commerce. I had always believed that if you have experience, if you have a training in any vocation, you are bound to do very well. On commerce, I was a great importer. I think some will be amused to know that I'm not just a soldier. Okay, I own the shop H104 in Alaba International Market. And my contemporaries, because I know this will go far, are the likes of GC Mweze, who owns the Grand Square in Abuja, Patrick Chidi, who owns the Chelsea Group, and Obiodore Mone from Oba, then Sino Kafo from Ojoto, Ike God, Abatete. I imported electronics to the level where when my containers arrive that week, the whole market will be on my shop. Now that is why I picked this out, is that it is the 80% vocation of Anambra and Igbo, commerce. Now when you now want to link commerce to agriculture, I had always been advocating that I will have what is called boot camps. Boot camps in agriculture means that I will have every unemployed Anambra, whatever age, whatever gender, employed in all the agri camps I will set up in the 3 senatorial political zones.
10 seconds remaining.
And quite frankly, it gives me joy each time I think about that. When everybody is employed, have a take-home remuneration, I think you have largely, very largely addressed insecurity on that. Thank you very much.
All right, this question is for Grace Ifemelu Dike. So Anambra generates about 4 billion naira monthly, but it has the capacity to grow to 10 to 15 billion naira monthly. Now, what are your innovative methods that you would introduce into Anambra State to increase the revenues without overtaxation?
Thank you. Yes, I love that word, innovation, because I'm a very innovative and creative person. So first, because I belong to the creative industry, and all these years, I've seen all the potentials the creative industry can actually bring revenue to any state. So I'm going to introduce through my own creative and innovative thoughts and blueprints. I'm going to make sure that the creative industry, and particularly the Nollywood industry, that we have the biggest film industry and academy built in Oka, Anambra State. Why do I think that this will help the economy? Because when we have an academy where people, creatives or people who want to get into the industry, can come and get training or educated, in this way we're going to be bringing a lot of people. We're going to be attracting a lot of people into the state. And when you have an influx of people in a particular area, it boosts the economic activity. So in the creative industry, especially in Nollywood, I'm going to build an academy in the capital, Oka, in Nnewi and in Onitsha in my first 2 years of being governor, so that every young person who wants to be an actor or an actress can have an opportunity without being abused or extorted. Go through these academies at very subsidized or paid even nothing. The indigent families will not have to pay anything to go through this academy and become professionals in the creative industry. Also, very importantly, I intend to diversify the economy with the agricultural sector in view. The agricultural sector, I think, must be utilized. We have not utilized it as much as we should. And how I think it can be utilized is if we invest in the mechanized system of farming and scrap the traditional hoe and cutlass farming. We need to introduce mechanized farming, technology in farming. We need to invest in our farmers, giving them grants and loans to enable them get subsidized fertilizers and upgraded seeds. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. So the next question is directed to the governor candidate for Boot Party. Now, how do you plan to address poor infrastructure, especially roads and drainages and urban congestion, which hinder business growth and investments in both rural and urban areas?
Okay, thank you very much. By the special grace of God, When I was in IBTC, I studied civil engineering, though to ND level. I studied geological science and mining in USD Account here. So I have a knowledge of how to make our roads fixed, and also the flooding and the erosion. Because if we don't take care of erosion and the flooding in the states, our roads, if we fix it today, tomorrow it will get spoiled. So maintenance culture, we have to cultivate that. The industrialization will help us to decongest some urban areas like Onitsha and Nnewi and Oka. We have to industrialize some areas like Nnewi South, Anambra East, and Anambra West, Obaro area. So all those areas where we have insecurity, those bushes around where they keep all those people they are kidnapping, we clear them, get them industrialized, get a lot of billionaires in Anambra here who go to China to import goods. Through PPP, we get a lot of industries here, especially in the rural areas. You now see urban-rural migration. So when you get all those industries around, you see a lot of roads network springing up, and we will get to that. And having our roads fixed, having a lot of urban decongested, and life will be sweet in Anambra State. Thank you very much.
Okay, please, can I appeal to you? Because in one of the rules we read out, we say, please do not jeer or cheer. We said that for a purpose, please. So if we can just, if the person says what is so fantastic and wonderful, we cannot, we can appreciate that. Thank you very much. So we're still with you, with the candidates of the good party. Also on the economy. If you look at Anambra State, you see that Anambra has about 60% of the youth population who are under 35. And these very youths, they need to be engaged. We need to tap their potential to be able to grow the economy. And these days we have new sectors like technology, we have areas like agribusiness, creative industry. So our question is, what are those specific goals, measurable at the same time, that you intend to bring in so that you'll be able to promote sustainable job creation and engage the youth in order to improve our economy?
Agriculture and industrialization. We have land in Anambra State, and you know, in our flag we have green, white, green. That green there signifies that Nigeria is rich in agriculture, but because of our politicians being lazy, sorry to use that word, lazy, most of them don't involve in agriculture. So, and our agriculture should be done using our local government areas. In the old, we have a lot of farm settlements before, but those farm settlements have now grown. If I am elected the governor of Anambra State, I will activate all the 21 local government areas in Anambra. You know, agriculture can give more than half 50% of Anambra youth jobs. You know, when we produce, we process before you export. You know, a lot of industries will spring up agriculture. Kidnapping will probably go because most of the areas where they are keeping the people they kidnap are in our bushes. So we don't have enough land here in Anambra. We can even go up to Enugu to get some land more. So after that, I said about PPP, private public partnership. And Anambra is a home of billionaires. You should not use KK people's money or cut people's money to make Anambra Dubai Taiwan. While we have billionaires scattered everywhere in the whole world. Make Anambra safe. You see all these billionaires come home. We partner together and build this state. Dubai Taiwan was not built by government alone. Dubai Taiwan was built by people of Dubai, people of Taiwan. So you don't need to suffer the poor to build Anambra to become Dubai Taiwan. 10 seconds. Thank you very much.
Okay, just we have 1 minute to respond to this. Okay, so if you can hear me, you have 1 minute to respond to this. Or okay, let's wait and see. Okay. Across the. No, he will take them. We'll come back to you. So, there is someone who has taken some questions. So I'm just asking this one question. Then once it's done, 1 minute.
don't get the same questions.
Yeah.
And we have our takes on those questions.
Yeah. So you can take notes.
Huh?
You can take notes once we give you time for you to react to it, right?
It's in my brain.
Okay.
If you give us time to
Yes.
So for me, I'm thinking the best thing we can do is those same questions we are asking for. One question we raise, let all of them take it.
Okay, for every segment now, or every theater.
For every segment,
Yeah.
each question we ask, let three of them take the same question.
Okay.
I know
So it
what
will be
I'm saying.
one question per segment.
Yes.
Did you
So this is what I mean. Like if I ask a question about what he's going to do in agriculture, your own should also be what he's going to do in agriculture. You might phrase it in a different language.
Okay.
Still segment because of that, because I can see that some of them have been disadvantaged somehow. Because you might ask this person a question where he feels it's his strength.
Yeah.
He's preparing his mind to answer it, and the person comes.
Yeah.
Let's not get it. So that's
So we'll repeat the same question, but we'll just tweak it a little. So are we going to start from this question now?
I'll just ask him the follow-up.
Okay.
After the follow-up, then finish this segment. So when we now take the segment,
Okay.
so that we uniform.
Okay.
Mic is not on.
Minus.
You can it's fine, but you can let's power cut somewhere.
It's too much, right? Yeah.
Stay in one room with the governorship candidates and hear them talk about their manifestos, the plans, and their targets. You get to sit and hear them talk. You get to ask them questions and get clarified. And by so doing, you can easily dictate who you want to elect on the election day. Right? This is amazing, I know. So join us at Hollywood Event Center on the 24th of October, 3 p.m. Let's hear these men talk and make the choices we deserve. Come November 2025, the future of Anambra State in the next 4 years will be determined as we'll be electing our next governor. That's what I present to you guys this governorship debate. That is not your regular kind of governorship debate. This is Voices Beyond the Front Line, where you get to stay in one room with the governorship candidates and hear them talk about their manifestos, the plans, and their targets. You get to sit and hear them talk. You get to ask them questions and get clarified. And by so doing, you can easily dictate who you want to elect on the election day. Right? This is amazing, I know. So join us at Hollywood Event Center on the 24th of October, 3 p.m. Let's hear these men talk and make the choices we deserve. Come November 2025, the future of Anambra State in the next 4 years will be determined as we'll be electing our next governor. That's what I present to you guys this governorship debate. That is not your regular kind of governorship debate. This is Voices Beyond the Front Line, where you get to stay in one room with the governorship candidates and hear them talk about their manifestos, the plans, and their targets. You get to sit and hear them talk. You get to ask them questions and get clarified. And by so doing, you can easily dictate who you want to elect on the election day. Right? This is amazing, I know. So join us at Hollywood Event Center on the 24th of October, 3 p.m. Let's hear these men talk and make the choices we deserve. Come November 2025, the future of Anambra State in the next 4 years will be determined as we'll be electing our next governor. That's what I present to you guys this governorship debate. That is not your regular kind of governorship debate. This is Voices Beyond the Front Line, where you get to stay in one room with the governorship candidates and hear them talk about their manifestos, the plans, and their targets. You get to sit and hear them talk. You get to ask them questions and get clarified. And by so doing, you can easily dictate who you want to elect.
Of a both party. You said you were going to set up fan settlement in all the 21 local government areas of Anambra State. Are you considering the fact that all the local government areas might not be fertile enough for agriculture?
Agriculture is not only where you go to the farm. There are certain agriculture you do, like livestock. So those areas where we don't have like Onitsha, urban, you can use you can grow livestock there. Every local government must have a particular product, agri-product to produce. At least that will give jobs to the youth in those areas.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for that answer. Now, moving on to the next, and I'm going to ask the gubernatorial candidate for AAC. So you've graced us with your presence today, and we're able to ask you these questions one-on-one. Now, if elected as governor of Anambra State, with the past history where we have the politicians in Nigeria, people who hold political offices, where the people at the grassroots are unable to reach them because they have gotten into power, how are you going to ensure transparency and accountability in order to encourage foreign investment into Anambra State?
Yes, I think it's important that transparency and accountability is encouraged through our laws. I will run an independent government that don't need to interfere in situations that have to do with corrupt politicians. Okay. Like we see today in our current political sphere, where an individual who is undergoing investigations for corrupt practices gets into an incumbent political party, and then you hear things like his sins are forgiven. That will not be tolerated under my leadership as governor. Every political holder, and I will use my cabinet member as scapegoat, and also myself, by making sure I declare my assets before I become governor, so that the Anambra State can monitor my financial activities and growth. Thank you.
Wait, all right, so you said something about when you enter a particular political party, they tell you all your sins are forgiven, and we have witnessed that happening within the political atmosphere in Nigeria. So just to ask a question following that, what's your take on the one-party system that's threatening the nation, where it seems as though everybody is defecting to a particular party, which is the ruling party, APC? Now, what's your view on that endless defection? Is that something you want to continue, or that's something that you want to change?
I think we have the opportunity, or it's all left to us, the people of Nigeria, or the people of Anambra State. I don't think anyone is forced to join these political parties or do these defects. But what I am more interested in is our youths, young people of Anambra State and Nigeria are ready to join political parties that are created to represent them. Political parties like African Action Congress. Are there young people that identify that this political party was created by Omoyele Sowore for young people to take up positions in leadership? So it's enough to sit back and criticize a governor, for instance, the governor of Enugu State, defecting to APC. What are you doing? I think that is where the question lies. What is each and every one of us doing to make sure that for as many people that defect, that we also have a formidable opposing opinion through the political parties like African Action Congress? Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you. I would actually love to ask a follow-up question, but maybe after I take the next candidate. So the next candidate, which is representing the Boot Party, now the old Onitsha River Port remains underutilized despite its potential for regional trade. What will you do, and what mechanisms will you employ to improve that?
You mean the seaport?
Yes.
Okay. Incidentally, I think one of the governorship candidates of the election now was once appointed by the APC to oversee that. I would have loved it if he was here. I would have asked him why he didn't champion that. But as a governor, you know, it's not under the state government to use seaports. It's what we have to work with the federal government to ensure that I attract such development using our senators who are representing us. Because most of the senators that are representing us are not doing well. So I will use them to approach the federal government to tell us seaports. And also, that's why if you have businessmen that are together, all the billionaires always go to China to import goods. They're using a power seaport and all the rest. Come together, unite, and form business here in Anambra State.
All right.
That's the time we come to existence. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So I'll direct this question to the governor candidate for NNPP. Now, this whole thing of Japa syndrome we're witnessing in Nigeria is as a result of unemployment. So I really want you to table down more like a step-by-step breakdown on how you want to curb, you know, unemployment in Nigeria, especially in Anambra State. Anambra State, sorry.
Well, I think I had said that I have a zero tolerance for unemployment. I had always been a very strong advocate on getting every Anambra that is not employed. And I said that for a start, we will have to get everyone into our agri camp. In agriculture, we will have both forward and backward integration in industries. The ones that we deal with the raw materials, that is from the raw materials of the products of agriculture. The ones that will be dealing with the finished product of agriculture by producing them into further products. Now, the Japa syndrome that we are suffering is as a result of the fact that we, over time, I had been somebody who had dealt with the currency when our naira was 52 kobo to United States $1. And progressively, I had seen the same dollar go down to 1,600. Thank you.
Okay, just a follow-up question. Now, the state's GDP is estimated at 5.14 trillion, but growth has been uneven. Now, what specific sectors, such as tech, agriculture, and manufacturing, or the creative economy, will you prioritize for rapid expansion?
As a matter of fact, the GDP you are making reference to was on 2024 that came down to 5.4 trillion. As far back to 2022, it was 6.1 trillion. So progressively, we have been going down, and it's also affecting our GDP to per capita income, and that is also affecting our purchasing power parity. Things that I have to do are, first, the commerce, that is our biggest vocation, is where we must do what I call reintegration of the various markets. You have the building material markets in Ogidi. Now you have the new markets in Onitsha.
Your time is up. Sorry for that. Okay, so now that we're going into education, I want three of you to pay attention, because the first question I'm going to ask is what three of you are going to respond to. What we might do for you is that we might reiterate the question for you to have your number refreshed. So I'm beginning with the candidate of the AAC, the lady amongst us. with the growing gap between classroom instruction and the practical demands of today's economy, what reforms would you implement to make Anambra's education system more skill-driven, technology-oriented, and aligned with global standards, particularly at the secondary and tertiary levels? And you know that Anambra is among, or rather Anambra is not among the 8 states with investment in education at 20% or above.
Okay, education is top priority for us under my leadership as governor. So the reforms first, we need to get into the already dilapidating structures and making sure that they are renovated to international standard. And when I mean international standard, it means that this primary, secondary, and tertiary institution have the facilities that it requires, like libraries, laboratories, that we have computer centers for technology, for students in that area of study to have practical knowledge of what this, what it entails in the area of computer science and technology. Because what we have currently in Anambra State is totally a dilapidated educational structure.
10 seconds.
And we intend that to make this, to repair this, we're going to renovate what we already have and build more institutions, and also make sure that free education is given to every Anambra child. And at school hours, we don't have children loitering and hawking, because by the time you educate these young people, then you have equipped them. Thank you.
So we go to Professor Jed. That same question on education. Anambra's investment in education, if you look at our budget allocation, it hasn't measured up to what the World Bank recommended or even UN recommended. So for you, what would you do to change the face of education in Anambra State, whereby somebody can attend secondary school, graduate, and be able to have something to feed a family on, other than waiting for non-existent white-collar job?
A very touching question to me, because I am an edupreneur. Being an edupreneur means that I do the business. I'm not only just an academic, I am also doing the business of education. I own KB International Academy that started from crèche through nursery, primary, and secondary, and are processing our university license. Now, I think from the curriculum that we run in the KB International Academy, we are looking at the next Silicon Valley to be brought to Anambra State when we get into governance. We have invested so much on techs, so much on softwares, so much on programming. I think it's an area that actually arouses a lot of my intellect each time I have things to do with them. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for that response. Now, moving finally on education sector to Mr. Okeke, the gubernatorial candidate for Boots. So the same question, how will you reform Anambra's education system to make it more skill-driven, technology-oriented, and globally competitive?
The first thing we have to do in our education sector is to motivate the teachers, pay them well. Anambra State can pay up to 120,000 naira minimum wage. You can't teach the students well if you don't motivate the teachers. So once you motivate the teachers, they are already impacted with knowledge. And once they are motivated, they will now give the knowledge to the children. So we will introduce a lot of skills in the education sector. Make sure that we have GTC, government technical colleges in all the 21 local government areas, so that any student who is graduating from those schools will be equipped with skills. This thing that doing 1, 2 skills, I think it's better started in secondary schools. So when we were in secondary school, then we are doing some skills, mosaic or something like that, while we are producing certain skills in school. So many things. But now those things are gone. Even farming, we should introduce farming in schools. We are showing our farm products then. When these children come out, they must have been practiced with a lot of skills, and they will now stand on their own.
All right, thank you. So,
all right, the next question is to governor candidate for AAC. Now, given the current economic realities and the persistent struggles of state civil servants, how do you plan to implement a sustainable minimum wage that aligns with the cost of living in Anambra State?
Thank you. In my manifesto, I have stated that when I'm governor, I'm going to pay civil servants a minimum wage of 100,000 naira. Yes. At least to be able to meet up with the current economic situation and the high cost of foodstuff, and also the high rates of house rents. I think with 100,000 naira, and that can also is open to considerations and engagement.
Yeah,
with.
Okay, but how do you plan to achieve that?
Yes, as governor, I'm going to make sure I pass a law that, determines that the salaries of these workers is increased, that their minimum wage is increased to 100,000, and by the time we're able to increase their salaries, and also open up channels of communication with the workers, at least in first 2 quarters of the year, to have constant communication with our workers, also to supervise their welfare.
All right, thank you so much. So I'm asking you now, the governor candidate for NNPP. So it's more like the same question. I would actually want you to answer that. I don't know if you get the question correctly, or should I reiterate? Okay, so given the current economic realities and the persistent struggles of the state civil servants, how do you plan to implement a sustainable minimum wage that aligns with the cost of living in Anambra State? Now, we know that a lot of workers in Anambra State have been agitating for increments in their minimum wage or their salaries, and it has been delayed over the years or months. So we really need to know the mechanisms you're going to employ to actually pay them on time.
It's very simple. We had a governor at a time in Lagos State who, through the works he did within the states, infrastructural wise, increased the revenue, the IGR of the state. People were happy to pay their taxes. People were happy to assist government in most things because they saw government working, and that was Fashola. So if we are saying today that we have a IGR is about 4 billion a month, and we have the potentials to go to 15 billion. So why don't we do all those things that will bring about the increment in the IGR? And with increased IGR, you can have increased salaries and remuneration. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So the next question is to the governor candidate for Boot Party. So over 2 weeks ago, or rather 3 months ago, I saw in the news that the ex-military men were actually loitering in Abuja and carrying placards for the payment of their pension and gratuity. Now, I'm still talking on delayed salaries. I really want to know, apart from how you're going to increase the internally generated revenue, how do you plan on fighting this stuff of non-payment or delayed payments?
With this, I want to announce to all of you that if you vote all these big parties that are sharing money now or buying votes, their salaries will be delayed, payment of salaries will be delayed, and minimum wage, they will not pay minimum wage because they will use 2 years to recover their money. But if you vote Boot Party, what we are going to do is that we have not spent any money in campaign. But it's funny when I say vote Boot Party, but we have to do it so that we'll be able to save our money in order to pay 120,000 minimum wage. Because if you vote out these big parties, they are voting out cabals. There are so many hidden cabals who are siphoning the state fund. They want the money comes from Abuja because they have been here since Apoga, since Peter Obi's era. They have been siphoning our money, and up to date, They are doing everything possible to win this election.
Okay, sorry.
So
please,
I get once you vote both party, our money will be secured. We are going to cut down the money we pay to politicians by 50%. Then we use security votes to pay salaries.
I just want to interrupt you. Sorry, sir. So I just wanted to know how you really plan on achieving that. I really want to know.
First of all, when you vote out these big parties, you have already achieved a lot by saving our money. That is number one. Number two is that the salaries of the politicians, political office holders, I have to cut it down to 50%. Then all this money they waste, security votes, they waste. You have to use it to fund the salaries and also to take care of the elderly. So once you're able to do this, you don't need to follow OKK and Okada people collecting money from them.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, thank you for the responses we've gotten so far from you on the questions we've asked already. So at this point, we are going to go for a very short break. Once we reconvene, we finish the questions and then get over to the closing time. Thank you for the response so far. You've been wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I want to believe that we are no longer on air. Let's just have a very quick break. Please, the organizers, help me serve them water. I think they need to also get hydrated. Now for the audience, if you have a question for any of the candidates, you do well to write your questions and send across to us. We'll get it to the moderators to have your questions asked. In a few minutes from now, we'll get back, and maybe 15 minutes. When we get back in 15 minutes, we'll get to wrap up on this debate. Thank you, Prof. Thank you. Yes, please, we'll be very snappy. Thank you. All right. And please get them water so they get hydrated.
You can also use restroom break. Restroom break.
Life, everything is to go for me. Me and no dick to the room, kitty cutter. Now you make a favor, follow me. You make a blessing, come in up my door. And if I want to go order, you know that before us, everything I want, I order. Everything nice and smooth. Me like it gets proper. Me like it before us.
More. If you want to stretch, you want to use yourself, you can actually do that. At most, 20-25 minutes will be done with this debate.
This is Voices Beyond the Front Line, where you get to stay in one room with the governorship candidates and hear them talk about their manifestos, the plans, and their targets. You get to sit and hear them talk. You get to ask them questions and get clarified. And by so doing, you can easily dictate who you want to elect on the election day, right? This is